All right, amazing evening, Nigerians. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Updates with Precious. So I tell you that the drama will be happen for inside United Kingdom yesterday when Ibisi, somebody, police almost arrest her when they call her president. Tinubu is a non-drug baron. Shetima is this. I told her that drama wanted to catch us around, right? But that's not all, because another drama also happened where our president's been getting meeting with Keir Starmer, and when Ibisi, they tell him, say, they tell him a few problems that we get during that agreement to Ibisi then sign. So you can't talk. Say one of the things, say they cause problem for Nigeria, or the major cause of terrorism for Nigeria, climate change, and of course he mentioned Sahel nations. So people can they say Sahel. Waiting Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali get to do with the terrorism we will face. Oh, maybe they actually have something to do with it. Well, make a run through the headlines and we will get very quickly. I will get straight into that conversation and I bring my guest enter inside the studio. Welcome to Updated Precious. It's always giving me, it always sweet my belly to bring on an update of all the things that happen for inside Nigeria. All right, we could just go straight, bring on some headlines very quickly. Nigerian woman trafficked to Iraq, critically ill and abused, organ harvest allegations. Very, very sad, some things that women they go through for inside Iraq there. El-Rufai has flaws, but his father of modern Kaduna, best administrator. Now, waiting in family, they talk, best administrator. War, Russia gives US conditions to stop sharing intel with Iran. Putin, it be like saying, Israel entered my trap. Crisis brews in ADC as faction petitions US over alleged hijack of party. So it's going down on ADC right now, because not just will the party be deregistered, a faction of the party where people they talk say then they paid, don't petition United States. Waiting US won't do for inside this matter now, we never know yet. So that means there may not be an ADC very soon. Well, we don't know yet. 2027, Atiku, Peter Obi, Amechi not presenting any new alternative or new plan to defeat Tinubu. However, I no go fit to lose confidence totally in them. Ali Ndume, now in the talk this one. And then Kano government moves to compensate families of 16 hunters killed in Uromi. Katsina, you know those 16 hunters that compensated them, but people are saying that, excuse me, if you compensate the hunters, which is very, very good, I beg, all the people, where did they genocide their people, where did they kill people, Benue State government to Plateau State government to Kaduna State government, when are you going to compensate the victims of terrorism in your states? If they compensate people where they murder, badly because of say they mistake them to be terrorists. Okay, so those people with terrorism, this is a good example. When are you also going to compensate them? Understanding, say most of those people they suffer. People where they IDP, when they will get compensation. That's a question where people they ask. Oh, by the way, Ogarada don't urge unity, assure justice for victims of terrorism. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Beyond the justice, can they also be compensated? Rehabilitated so that they go get a new life, a new lease. Just like when they spend money, they rehabilitate the criminals themselves. Can we spend actually 3 times or 4 times more that money on the actual victims of those people, their evil plans? Well, Catholic bishops felicitates with Muslims on Eid al-Fitr, advocates national unity. Police arrest organizers of sexual violence festival in Delta State. It was crazy today. If you see the I can't play those videos, horrific videos of young men rushing after a single woman because they say na rape festival. I've never heard a thing like this. So I don't even know how our culture and traditions, they legitimize crime. They make crime a good thing. So if, for instance, these young children now, when they grow like agric fowl, a child that is just 13 or 14 mistakenly steps outside because they say people should not step out, women should not step outside, else they will be raped. And a girl like that goes outside. That is how they will rape a minor because she stepped outside. Hey, I never see a thing like this before. Well, it's a good thing that they're already holding the organizers responsible. Ogun, NYC official in police net over death of female corps member. Why did Nigeria guarantee £746 million loan instead of securing equity partnership? Kalu Aja Economics slams Tinubu's government over massive debt burden on Nigerians. Wait a minute. We say we don't get money. Instead of us to manage use the money we get, make out we fit get inside. Then you go borrow money to use rehabilitate ports. ports. The ports themselves, now they make money. That na question what people they ask. I like the fact that the guess why I get Sabi a lot concerning what they happen for inside our port operations. Everyone except Tinubu and King Charles knows terrorism in Nigeria is inspired by Islamization, not Sahel nations and climate change. Now we see some Nigerians they talk or on top of social media. I was surprised to see clean streets without heaps of rubbish in Abia. In Abia and Aba, Dr. Paul Enenche lauds Oti for good governance, calls him man with heart for God. Meanwhile, Oti replied to say, this the governor will be without Godfather. Because I do not have a Godfather, I can work for the people. I not get anybody with Godfather me now. Wait to make me feel I have no choice but to work for Abia people because our government was ordained by God, not Godfathers. Alex Oti, why now? Are you shading anybody? Why are you carrying this kind of shade like this now? Okay. Nigeria loses skilled citizens to West and in return receives deported criminals. Nigerian citizens fault Tinubu over dangerous asylum agreements with UK government. So you go collect the people who get brain. The ones who give you problem, you bring them back to us. That's exactly what they're saying. Campaigning for APC left my life in shambles. Forgotten entertainer documents regrets for supporting ruling party. One Sunday Igboho I made threats to opposition. He said, Sunday Igboho, be careful of me. After I support APC finish, see my life, my life don't scatter. Now so I people swear for me. I scatter my life. I don't know, but we'll get to that conversation. Security alert raises alarm over imminent terror attacks in Taraba and southern Kaduna. And now actually a foreign organization now, raises alarm. And I do hope that Nigeria will do something about it. As a matter of fact, this particular organization don't talk, say 90% of the time when they raise alarm, government they do anything about them. And most of those things, they eventually happen. But I do hope that this time, with the satellite of the world they for front of our eyes, they could do something about them so that this terror no go happen. Well, Tinubu government signs controversial UK deal to receive illegal migrants and criminals in historic deportation move. Tinubu tells UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer that Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and climate change are responsible for terrorism in Nigeria. And Bola Tinubu government secures 746 million loan. I did tell you that from UK. Yeah, that was a loan, nothing else. Loan. In case you don't understand what's in it, it was a loan. Okay, now stop being a foolish dog. Dele Momodu mocks Tinubu's ambassador Femi Fani-Kayode. So there's been a lot of basketballs between Femi Fani-Kayode and Dele Momodu. I will explain. Dele had an interview, and he talked about the characters of Dele Momodu and Reno Mokri and what a shame they have become lately. And the characters of Femi Fani-Kayode and Reno Mokri and waiting they don't become the disappointment they don't become lately, according to a narrative. But the thing don't go down where with Femi Fani-Kayode. Come blast and we say you for 40 years, not be years, for 40 years. Tinubu they feed you. Tinubu feed you for 40 years. Now you won't tell me waiting to do. Now you be say Dele Momodu come the blast back Femi Fani-Kayode right now. While insecurity, terrorists killed 3 police officers, vigilante leader in Taraba ambush. This is sad. We keep losing people. Okay, I think I told you this already. Let's go to other issues. Yeah. Now, thugs disrupt ADC women rally in Rivers State. Again, thugs disrupt ADC women rally in Rivers State. Okay, you don't hear them again. Now, ADC, thugs from where? I don't know. Okay, now please invite Edo LG, acting chairman at Q2, 3 officials over fraud allegations. Local government chairman, LG local government chairman. Now, Nigeria security is not one man's responsibility. All of us are in it. That's what Tinubu talks. All of us could join hands together for the insecurity. Tension in South Africa over coronation of Nigerian Igbo king in Eastern Cape. This one don't bring a lot of wahala. Say, wow, I go coronate king, go. Well, we'll go talk about this one very soon. Now, despite being oil producer, diesel in Nigeria costs more than in Sudan, Niger, and Afghanistan, others, according to data. So if EB say, would they produce oil, why would they buy more diesel higher than people in Sudan, Niger, Afghanistan, and other places? That's a question with people they ask. One of them slapped me 4 times. Lawyer recounts brutal assault by police officers at Lion Building Station. Again, cooking gas in Nigeria more expensive than Saudi Arabia, Russia, India, others, despite lower minimum wage. and data shows. So Nigeria minimum wage, they lower than all of these countries' minimum wage, but yet we they buy gas more expensive. So these are the things that we're talking about. One person talk now, they go say, "Oh, you know this, so you cannot cut Tinubu some slack, cut him some slack." Are you saying? Are you seeing the standard of living of your people? Are you seeing the and they come? Borno Governor Zulum warns of two suicidal bombers plotting attacks in Meduguri during Eid. Here again, God I beg you, may nobody die you. We don't tire to lose people. House of Reps wants Nigeria may face petrol scarcity in 48 hours, blame supply crisis. Petrol scarcity, even as a cost like this, that means as people they buy at 1,500 per liter, if you reach 2,025, yeah, voila deal. Okay, there's a story about a leaked audio. I think we'll talk about that later on, but let's just rest on this. Well, these and other issues like this now we get to talk about today, and I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who joined me. Join me in the studio now. Joining me for inside the studio now, Prince Francis Chilaka. Good evening, Prince Francis. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pray.
Ah,
Can see the holiday has really taken a toll on you.
how? I
You're
don't have
looking fine.
holidays.
You're looking
I
fine.
work around the clock.
You're looking fine. Don't worry. You're looking fine.
Oh, stop it. I like it. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
You're not
Thank you
looking
so
like a
much.
Nigerian. At
I'm
least
not
for
looking.
today, you're not looking like a Nigerian.
Okay, stop that one. No whine me. No whine me at all at all. Make I play with one of your brother do for inside United Kingdom for you first of all. And come back and make you see what your brother do for you.
Which mandate do you want? We want to elect for president. Tinubu, go and settle your drug case in America. Tinubu, go and settle your drug case in America. You are a drug baron. Tinubu of Nigeria, you are a drug baron. Tinubu of Nigeria, you are a drug baron. Tinubu, stop killing Nigerians. Tinubu, stop killing Nigerians. The first president of Nigeria is a terrorist. The first president of Nigeria is a terrorist. The first president of Nigeria is a terrorist.
The guy almost took arrest for that place.
But they cannot arrest him because this is not Nigeria. Freedom of expression,
All right.
freedom to protest.
Okay.
So
All right.
forget the story about arrest. The highest they can actually do is to tell him to not to cross certain places, but they not go arrest him because he has the immunity. Not
All
be
right.
Nigeria. If na Nigeria now, the police will not give am tear gas.
But
They
the
go not
shock,
tear gas and come beat and put.
the shocking thing about that video, now the fact that if you listen to the background, you're going to hear on your man, our
Yeah,
national
yeah,
anthem.
yeah.
I
You
be
know,
want to tell you.
Nigeria since
Our national anthem.
since President Bola Tinubu was sworn in on the 29th of May 2023, APC has created an anti-protest body. The body that protests against the protesters.
Sugar.
They have successfully done that. So when you are protesting against Tinubu, they too will be protesting against you. Give me water. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do, sir.
When you're protesting against Tinubu, even those who are still hungry, even those who do not believe in this administration, they go protest against you. By the time you check them now, the result will soon come and say, those where they shout on your mandate, they probably pay them $100, £100 or 20 pounds, provided bus, provided
We
money,
hear saying I
provided
want 20
accommodation.
pounds each. Oh, according to gossip, they say I want 20 pounds each. 9 people will come out. Collect.
Exactly.
The gossip,
It's
oh,
not
now them
it's a
say, now
see,
them say.
you have a president and an administration that has understands the mindset of Nigerians. So they understand that every Nigerian has a price. Just name your price. And they meet you halfway or they pay you all for you to do what they want to do, what they want you to do. And that is the most shameful part of all this thing. People are talking about good governance. We're talking about the fact that you left this country as a president when the country was on fire, when your citizens were bombed in Maiduguri. 20-something of them died, with several hundreds in the hospital. A right-thinking president will not make that trip. A president that believes in the people, a president that is protecting the people, a president with empathy and sympathy, a president with love would not have done what Bola Tinubu did. Because what he has done is to show Nigerians that, look, you guys can all go to places.
No, but you know that according to waiting people they talk, this meeting already they scheduled already, and it go very bad. See, after he scheduled the meeting, he go come begin a whole king of England.
Precious, please don't sorry, go where you're going to now. Sorry, if it was the British Prime Minister,
okay, sir,
that was supposed to come to Nigeria, and what happened, do you think he will still come to Nigeria? He will not. But you know that this trip for a President Bola Tinubu is more like face saving. He wants to be recognized. He wants to show the world that everything you people are saying about drug or whatever is has no issues. For him, it was an acceptability. And it was something that he really wanted. There is no see. Make I not talk anything I want to talk.
Okay, sir. Make I let you hold your peace.
Yes, make I not talk anything I want to talk. Because nothing would have stopped him from undergoing that trip.
Are you serious?
I am telling you.
Not the deaths of Nigerians.
But didn't Nigerians die? Sir. Didn't Nigerians die before he embarked on the trip? Do you know how many people followed him on that trip?
Well, that's a matter for another day, sir.
No, it's a matter for today.
Oh, yeah, sorry, sir. Go ahead.
I hear it's about 100 and something.
Ew, Chim, inside our Commonwealth.
You go with your Senate president.
You go with your own aides and assistants. So.
You go with your Minister for Defense. You go with your national security advisor. You just gather everybody. Meanwhile, the country is on fire. Meanwhile, these same people who you claim gave you the mandate they gave you is to protect their lives and property. That is the mandate they gave you. So you feel that they are not worth it.
Okay. So make we look at some of the core things that happen. But since you talk insecurity, let's face the issues of insecurity where we see happen. Now, a video surfaced of interaction with Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister, and how EBC did explain to us some of the things that happen. Now, Nigerians, they mad on top of social media over waiting EBC happen. Some of them, they post the talk, say, why EBC President Tinubu go fit insinuate saying as Sahel countries, then I think they're responsible for waiting they happen with insecurity. So we cannot call a spade a spade. That's what some of them are saying. While others are saying otherwise, like you can see that people are really upset and angry that it looks like he subtly mentioned that the Sahel nations are responsible for the terrorism that Nigeria is facing. While some others they talk, say everybody within Nigeria knows, say the number one problem we get for insecurity are the activities of armed Fulani militiamen. And then they cause problem for Nigeria. But somehow, now only President Bola Tinubu, now things say, nah, climate change and other things. We could take a listen to Ramoni, they talk about for inside that video.
Challenged in being the largest city in West Africa, country in West Africa, and on the continent, and challenged by, terrorism and it comes from the Sahel and the conflict of, climate change and all of that. we will be able to discuss it in bilateral relations and see what Britain can do to accelerate the friendship, partnership, and the collaboration.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So you heard that. Prince Francis, sir.
Precious,
Sir?
with what your president said, is there any difference from what your Minister of External Affairs or Foreign Affairs said a few months back?
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you forgotten?
Super.
Have you forgotten when he had an interview with the lady that they were an interview that that involved a lady that was almost, if he had his way, he would have slapped her from both ends. He told you clearly, climate change, and everybody in this government has held on to that word, climate change. And I'm asking, how is climate change responsible for terrorism?
Because
How
they're
is
looking
climate
for
change
water.
the reason why
The nomads, they look for water, so they move go cities where water is. Now,
when
what
you
they bring
people say
water?
this, when you people say nomads, the cows that are being pushed, being carried around by the nomads, are they the owners?
And not be those people, not be those nomads and get them.
They're not the owners of the cows.
Anyway.
They are employed by rich and influential northerners and even some southerners to take care of those cows. So
Should I
what
just keep
stops
that?
this government from thinking that there is no box? What stops this government from taking steps? What stops the National Assembly from taking steps to, put up a law that makes it compulsory for you to have a ranch?
They don't say make them bring grazing reserves now, some grazing lands where they made them use build ranch for them. That was what President Tinubu has ordered.
That grazing part you're talking about, Precious, that
Sir?
grazing part, a lot of it has been developed. And a lot of the land on that grazing part, this was in the 12th century, maybe 10th century, when we were using cat and horse and donkey as transportation system. We're in the 21st century, where we're talking about aircrafts, where we're talking about cars. It is because for you to move faster, that is why your president acquired his own jet, a private jet. So why would you not be talking about cows at this time? And you're talking about grazing field. What kind of English is that? Does that English make any... even government officials, they said, don't you think that something is abnormally wrong with them? What is wrong in asking people, you want to do your cow business? Good. But you must do it in order not to affect other people.
The question I want to ask is that I do know that the government, Minister for Foreign Affairs, we don't talk this one before, and the president now don't talk openly. I mean, we've not heard him speak publicly enough about what's going on about insecurity. But we don't hear him talk now, so we don't know his stand. That is to say that he does not believe that Nigerians are being killed deliberately. And maybe now waiting would they spend money to get lobby people to lobby US to change the narrative that there is a Christian genocide. But the truth of the matter be say, a lot of communities, they insist, say, there is a deliberate annihilation of their people to take over their land. Two, most of those places where be say, those communities where somehow terrorism don't pursue the original inhabitants of those communities to come out. Why is it hard for government to return them if not climate change? Or should the people where climate change bring
The climate change has
why the
led
climate change
to...
people overpower our government and they know if we come back? So there are lots of questions to ask, and it's go ahead, sir.
Okay, the climate change has led to erosion. That's what it is. So the erosion that has happened has made it difficult for them to be relocated back. See, this government lies as if there is no tomorrow. Everybody in this government is a liar.
So you're saying that what the president has said now is purely a lie? He deliberately lied?
He has
to
been lying
scare
now.
Ghana about
This
the
is the
situation
first
of
time the
Nigeria.
president is lying. Each time Bayo Nanuga lies, who lies?
Okay, because he's talking on behalf of the president.
Exactly.
Oh, chim.
So please let us not deceive ourselves. The truth of the matter is that the government is doing everything to placate the fact that Christians are being killed in their numbers and other people are also being killed. Now, when we talk about other people being killed, the reason why the Christian community is crying and screaming genocide is because apart from killing them, their lands are taken over by this so-called Marundin bandits, herdsmen, whatever you want to call them. I'm sure you are aware that in Benue State has about how many? Well, in Nigeria, we have about 3,000 plus IDP camps. Are you aware? And we have a lot of people, especially in Benue, but yet you have a governor who calls himself a Catholic priest, who calls himself a Christian, rather than spend money to provide security for his people, rather than spend money to relocate his people back to their ancestral home. He's spending money buying cars for chiefs. So you have governors, you have a government that thinks like the colonial masters.
So the question I have, sir, is this. Please, there was an expose by Mike Arnold earlier this week that the president has not just lobbied only one company, but about 4 different firms, including somebody who worked for Donald Trump to lobby against this Christian genocide. And a lot of money has been spent, in that regard. The question I ask now say, if it be say the president no believe say Nigerians are killed deliberately, genocidal, then why has it been difficult for us to curb the terrorism or the insecurity? That's on the one hand. So on the other hand, if you be say you no believe them and you're unable to handle the situation, is it that you just want is it that you're just deliberately silent and you just want the killing to continue? For how long was it going to continue before you cry out and seek for external help? Since our own within ourselves will not help the situation, is it till then wipe most Nigerians out? Now you go talk. That's the question what people they ask. Because you don't believe that your people are deliberately killed and you're paying people to cushion that effect, to quiet and no talk, no greed, say then they kill our people. Then what is the problem? So when were you going to seek for help? Since you cannot help the situation, you cannot stop your people from being killed, then when were you going to stop the situation? When were you going to stop Nigerians from being killed? What was the plan? The Nigerians would
The
keep
government
them
has
till
no
when?
intention to stop it.
Question.
The government has no intention to stop it.
No, sir, no government to deliberately want their people to continue to
Precious,
die.
this
Sir?
government has no intention to stop it.
Yeah.
Because if the government has intention to stop it, the government knows what it should do. You saw a video a few weeks ago of small children dressed in camouflage, carrying AK-47. Has the government said anything about it? Has anyone been arrested for that? We may not understand what is playing out, but let me take you on a journey. Do you know that those children you saw carrying those guns, those who are holding them captive, those who are indoctrinating them, are taking away their youthfulness from them? They're already telling them that forget whether you are 6, 10, 12, 13 years old, you are what? You are an adult. They're already preparing their minds for what adults should be thinking about. Now, let's assume that those children spend another 1 year or 2 years in those camps. As at that time, in the next 2 years, they would have been completely brainwashed. They now see you living in face me and face you, face me and slap you as an enemy. They see you living in 2-bedroom apartment as an enemy. They see you that driving a car as an enemy. And what do you need to really get them to that level where they become a killing machine? Give them alcohol, give them drugs, set them out. And what do you think will happen? Some of them, as they are training them, they are indoctrinating them to become suicide bombers. And we all sit back and we think it is funny. We think it is a joke. Let me tell you, if you go up north during the Harmattan, you know their own Harmattan is crazy. You'll be shocked that this set of boys you see them outside 2 a.m., 3 a.m. No matter how cold it is, the cold doesn't affect them anymore. And they call them what? Almajiris. That is why when those their afars or their imams or those who are nurturing and grooming them tell them to go and stone somebody to death, they don't think twice, they do it. Because that is what they have been taught. They have been trained to become like robots. And every day we wake up in this country, we are finding ourselves in that situation and everybody's keeping quiet. And that's why I said the other day that the Minister of Defense, Christopher Musa, should please not take the love of Nigerians for granted. They should not.
We hear that some of these children are also kidnapped. They were kidnapped, just like you mentioned, that they actually kidnapped. It's not because they are either, some of them may even be Christian children kidnapped and are indoctrinated and forced, to be child soldiers.
And such children are very dangerous. They are extremely, extremely dangerous. We saw what happened in Somalia. And we're not learning. And your government is playing all over the place, dancing Makosa. A serious government would seek for international help if they can do it. You will come out openly and say, look, this is what I am facing. Now you are accusing the Sahel. Maybe that was why when there was a coup in Benin Republic,
yes,
after they helped to restore the draconic president in Benin Republic, they wanted to go and upset the one in Burkina Faso. So now you are reporting the Sahel to the British so that the British should go and carry Koboko and flog them. Does it not sound funny? Is that what the president should be saying? As a president who claims to be the country claims to be the giant of Africa, and you feel that the Sahel are your problem, that they're the ones probably engineering terrorism in your country. They are just appointed ambassadors. Why? That is even the better place. The Sahel nations is where they should have sent the likes of Reno Mokri and Femi Fani-Kayode, and even the former NX chairman. Honestly speaking. But the truth of the matter is that this government, as far as I'm concerned, they are not bothered about the killings of Nigerians. They're not bothered about insecurity. Because if they are bothered, you would ask for help and be very, very, intentional about it.
This is sad. And again, an organization don't also raise alarm about an impending danger, another attack will go happen. Fresh security alert issued by Jude Saul don't raise alarm over imminent coordinated terrorist attacks expected in parts of Taraba State and southern Kaduna. Now, according to the briefing, the Chechenyi Yelwa axis in Taraba has been placed on critical threat level, with an attack reportedly expected around March 23. Targets are set to include civilians and local defense groups. The alert claims that the fighters linked to the FEM Takun unit have already mobilized and are positioning for assault. In fact, indicators include armed movement across the Donga River, infiltration through cattle herds, and drone confirmed presence of machine guns already on ground. Now, a recent attack in Tor Damisa was also referenced, where 5 people were killed, further reinforcing fears of escalation. The report identified the key staging area in Niagboko, described as seized farmland currently under terrorist control, with activity suggesting an attack could occur within days. Now, in southern Kaduna, particularly Chikun, Kajuru, and Kachia, the alert points to large-scale terrorist movement since March 16, motorcycle convoys and heavy infiltration into forest zones and nearby communities that have been observed so far. High-risk areas listed include Rijana Forest, Kamuku Forest, and the Birnin-Gwari Corridor, with threats ranging from coordinated raids and ambushes to possible execution of kidnapped victims. So that is, they will kill some of the kidnapped victims. Now, these threats don't they now? We never know what in government will do. But if I make a play, just a footage of the person who raised the alarm. Take a listen.
Hello, everybody. This is Judd Saul, the Executive Director of Equipping the Persecuted. You can find us and learn more information about our organization at equippingthepersecuted.org. That's equippingthepersecuted.org. I don't come out on video very often, and when I do, it's because I have something that really needs to be said that no one's talking about. And sadly to say, through our sources on the ground in Nigeria and some of our sources from truthnigeria.com, I'm issuing a terror alert that is very imminent that everyone needs to know about. We have critical information of upcoming attacks in Taraba and in southern Kaduna. And when I mean imminent attacks, this means that Fulani ethnic militia have been sighted. They've been gathering. They are preparing for major attacks in Taraba and southern Kaduna. We're expecting an imminent attack in Taraba around March 23rd. FEM Takum unit, Fulani ethnic militia unit in Takum, is mobilizing fighters and staging positions. They are armed movement. We're seeing armed movements across the Donga River toward Chenjenji. Fighters embedded via cattle herds. Drone confirmed machine gun presence. And there was a recent attack in Tor Damisa where 5 people were killed, but that's just the beginning. They're amassing and planning for a large attack. The staging area is in New Gaboko, and it's around seized farmland, and it's under active terrorist control. Attack is likely within days. We're expecting right after Ramadan. So those of you in Taraba, in the Chinchinji Yellowa access, be on alert. They are moving. They are planning major attacks in Taraba. Please be careful. And now we have information in southern Kaduna. They are planning a major attack in Chikun, Kajuru, and Kachia. We are seeing movements, mass movements of terrorists. They've been gathering since March 16th. They're amassing in certain areas, preparing for a large attack. Large motorcycle convoys are advancing, and heavy infiltration into forest zones and communities. High-risk areas, Rajana Forest, Kamuku Forest, and Birnin-Gwari Corridor. They're amassing, they're gathering, they're planning major attacks in southern Kaduna. Attack is imminent. This is max alert status. So what we're telling everybody is avoid remote and isolated areas, report suspicious movement to the police and military, but they probably won't do anything anyway because they never do. But do your best to try to alert the authorities, but alert the local communities. Talk to your local officials, talk to your pastors, talk to your local leaders. And I'm telling you, these attacks are imminent. Be on guard. Urgent operations in both regions. We need the Nigerian military and police forces to deploy immediately. Disrupt motorcycle movement. If you're seeing terrorists with guns on motorcycles traveling through the area, perhaps you should stop them instead of letting them go by. Quit taking the money, quit taking the naira, quit letting terrorists go back and forth. It's time you guys, Nigerian government, local government officials, police, military, start arresting criminals and start protecting the innocent civilians. So I'm just saying, both regions show a clear sign of imminent terrorist attacks. Immediate action is critical to save lives. If the Nigerian government's not going to protect you Nigerians, go protect yourselves, evacuate, stand up for your communities, whatever you feel you have within your power, please do it. But I can't sit by and let this intelligence go to waste. I have to let you know that we are spotting criminals, we're spotting terrorists, Fulani ethnic militia to be specific. Let's name who they are. The Fulani ethnic militia are massing, they are gathering, they have weapons, and they're planning to attack in Taraba and southern Kaduna. And I'm praying to God that these attacks are thwarted and lives are saved. In the meantime, for the rest of you watching this that don't live in Kaduna or Taraba, please pray with me and pray for our persecuted brothers and sisters that they're safe. Please do something about this. Nigerian government leaders, whoever, U.S. government, U.S. embassy, please do something about this right now and save lives. Here's your opportunity. God bless. If you would like to support our mission, equipping the persecuted, a mission that's actually trying to stop the persecution in Nigeria, that's saving lives on a daily basis, equipping the persecuted is the organization y'all should support. But in the meantime, call your congressman, call your senator, call the Nigerian government, tell them to protect the innocent Christians that are about to get killed in a couple of days. God bless.
So, Prince Russell Chinaka, this is sad to hear that a total stranger will be more concerned about the welfare of Nigerians more than us Nigerians ourselves. I don't know how we have degraded our humanity to this. I mean, the lives of Nigerians to this level. When a total stranger, the people where they say then they do racism against us, even though they fit talk say get ulterior motive, but it show more interest about waiting they happen for our country pastors. Now instead call your congressmen, that is your House of Rep members, call your senators. If you call these people now, what they go do? What are they likely to do? To the extent that he's even advising our security men to stop these people if you see them, instead of you to collect bribe from them. That is, they don't know us reach this level. What a shame. Sorry, sir. Let me take your thoughts.
Precious.
Sir?
You know why I'm laughing? I'm laughing because Nigeria has been reduced to a joke. We've been reduced to a joke of a nation. When it comes to talking about how many we are as a people, we have to wait for outsiders to tell us how many we are. Outsiders will tell you Nigerians are 230 million, and we run with it, and the government runs with it. And we don't feel anything bad. We don't feel any shame about it. Now, foreigner is telling you, an outsider is telling you what is going to happen in your house. And you're not blinking an eye, you're not doing anything. For you, it's just fun. And then you ask yourself, what has happened to our own indigenous intel gathering? What has happened to it?
We get, has it ever been successful? If our intels did they successful, why would they get the thousands and hundreds of deaths? What would they get?
That's the question. I'm asking the question. It is not you and I that are supposed to provide the intel. Several years back, I know that there was a special kind of people engaged by the Nigerian police whose job is to gather intel and send in. But then a country that is ravaged by hunger, ravaged by poverty, ravaged by unemployment, ravaged by, unseriousness of the leaders. So who do you think will put their life on the line to gather intel? Nobody will do that. So with all this information they have gathered now, you'll be surprised. Nothing will happen. Nobody will do anything about it. The government will not do jack about it. And then tomorrow, when the killings happen, the government will tell you climate change. Nigeria has become a laughing stock. So it is climate change that is responsible for the deaths of innocent Nigerians. It is climate change that is responsible for people to be driven out of their ancestral homes and sent into IDP camps.
For years, decade plus.
It is climate change that also makes people go to those IDP camps to attack them, to rape them, to kidnap them again. This is something you hear, your heart begins to pain you because you don't know where to start from. You really don't know. There are times you want to shed tears, but the tears are not coming out. You just cry inside of you. You cringe inside of you. There are more people dying in Nigeria than even the nations at war. And your government is doing nothing about it. Your government is not ready to do anything about it. If you listen to that man, you find out that he's talking about purely coordinated attack. It means that these people want to attack. They have mapped, they have drawn a map, they have a vision, they have a mission statement. So, Mr. President, Bola Tinubu, please stop going abroad and disgracing yourself with the kind of information you're putting out there. I really don't know how the president felt after saying what he said at climate change. As we sit today, it's difficult to tell you the population of Nigeria. Maybe because we are not sure of the population. Maybe it's an indirect way of saying, let us reduce our population. We are too many. It could be. That's why government doesn't care. Because if the government really, really cares, precious,
Sir?
government will protect the citizens.
I have heard this from a guest before, that this may be a systematic way to reduce our population in Nigeria. And I'm just hearing it from you again now. So, but Prince Ross there is something I'd like you to see very quickly. So, just before I get into the call, importance of President Tinubu's visit to UK, I'd like you to see this. So, apparently, there was supposed to be a congressional hearing during the week that was co-opted and perhaps didn't work. And my cannot posted this. So let me quickly read through some of his tweets, and I'll be very quick with that if I can. So he said it by saying, The briefing goes on. We rise, nobody can cancel the truth. There is a moment in every great struggle when the enemy overplays his hands. So the reason I read from him verbatim is so that they will not say that it is now me that I'm using Oyibo man to now come against Nigerians. So I'm reading what he said, and I'm just putting out his information out there because that's what I should do as a journalist. Now he said when the pressure they apply meant to silence, to soften, to manage, instead strips away every compromise and leaves only the pure, unbreakable thing they were trying to destroy in the first place. This week, the moment arrived for us. Now, sanctimonious swamp creators, well-funded, well-connected, deeply invested in keeping the Nigerian Christian genocide safely abstract and diplomatically manageable, try to co-opt our briefing, noiter our message, and remove our lead voice. They offered us everything: the biggest room, the most powerful audience, the brightest lights, all of it. If we would just bend, just once, for the team, every single member of this coalition looked them straight in the eyes and said, no. So they pulled out. So there was no congressional hearing. And in doing so, they made the moment immortal. What was supposed to be a managed, sanitized, swamp-approved event, carefully balanced to offend no one and change nothing, is now something they cannot control, cannot rename, cannot water down, and cannot touch. So he said, the truth breaks, all clients, we are free. The truth breaks all chains, rather, we are free. Now he said, free from Tinubu's $10 million lobbying machine, free from operatives who scrabbled Christian genocide, from our title, well, they tried, it's back. Free from economical blob that cannot name the enemy, because naming the enemy would empty the room and stop the checks. I don't know whether you understand anything by that. I'm coming. Then he now said, free from every force that has spent years and fortunes ensuring that the truth about Nigeria never reaches the people who can act on it. So that means it was a deliberate attempt that waiting to happen for Nigeria, making no rich people will go fit defend the killing or stop the killing or help us manage the killings. The idea was to manage, to keep the situation down so that the world may not come to the rescue of people that are being killed in Nigeria. That's what he is insinuating here. Now he said, here is what they have never understood and will never understand. You cannot cancel truth. You can only delay it. And every attempt to suppress it only compresses the force of its eventual release. The harder the push, the bigger the explosion when it comes back. Perhaps the harder the bounce back. They didn't learn that in Abuja. They haven't learned it in Washington. When Nelson Mandela walked out of Verster prison after 27 years, he did not walk out broken. He walked out with his fist raised. The men who imprisoned him, though confinement would contain, thought confinement could contain him. Instead, it clarified him, purified him, made him undeniable. When Martin Luther King wrote from, he said a lot. Bottom line, it accused the government. It's quite a lengthy conversation. He said, in fact, they go for another congressional hearing on the 25th, and this time, he go walk. Nobody go walk out on them. What is going on? Because we hear that there are lots of people who are already being lobbied, bots in the US to suppress, especially some members of the committee where they're supposed, get the hearing with. There is a lobby that is targeted at them to pacify their actions after the testimonies then go here for the Christian genocide. Why do we keep fighting to quell what looks like it's obvious, with a lot of testimonies from some people to show, say, indeed, my people were targeted? I interviewed a young man here over the weekend who said that people from his community, basically Christian community in Borno State, are targeted for attack. That the Muslims in the community are not as much target as the Christians. The Muslims who are targeted are the ones who reject what is going on. Prince Francis Chilaka, what's happening to us?
We have a government that I would say believes in denial. The government that is not being truthful to herself. So when you have a situation like that, you find out that it's like a man who tells one lie. He will look for more lies to tell. If a man tells you it's going to rain tomorrow, when tomorrow comes and you say, it didn't, he said, no, we are still in tomorrow. There are about 4 hours or more left to go. When the day goes and you go back to him and say, but it didn't rain yesterday. He said, no, I said tomorrow. Between you and I, tomorrow never comes. This is where we are in this country. I find it very distasteful that a government could think and want to kill a story, so to say, that borders on the lives of its people. If you believe deep down as a leader that there is no genocide, you don't need to bribe anybody. You don't need to begin to gather people together for them to speak, for them to prove a point that there is no genocide. No, you don't need that. But you're doing it with impunity. The government is doing it with impunity. The government has not come to deny the fact that they have paid lobbyists to lobby for them. They have not.
We haven't seen any there. But Prince Francis Chilaka, excuse me, sir. If we can spend about $10 million and counting and more to lobby about 4 firms, or to pay about 4 firms to lobby against a Christian genocide, that money, if we spend them for the well-being of the people then where they kill, where they displaced, let's assume they're not Christians, because we have both Christians and Muslims in the IDP camps. Yeah. So if we spend that money on the Christians, the displaced persons, be them Christian, Muslims, pagans, traditionalists, what's going to happen? Because it be like say they pay more attention for the rehabilitation of the Boko Haram and terrorists, more attention on concealing whatever it is that is happening, than on the victims of the attack itself. Why are we not paying attention to the people who are attacked? Why?
The victims are the collateral damage. That's what they are. They do not matter in the equation. Because if they matter in the equation, you would first of all consider them before you consider those who carry out these heinous crimes, those who kill them, those who have put them in perpetual suffering. But no, you are not interested in that. And that is why the whole Sultan of Sokoto has refused to condemn this act. He has refused to call out the Fulani people. He has refused to see the fact that the people carrying out these heinous crimes are Muslims. Yet, he is the leader of Islamic world in Nigeria. Maybe Nigerians now will understand when some of us were saying Muslim ticket is a no-no. But what did this government do? When I said that this government tells lies a lot, you have forgotten that it is this same government that went to hire bishops and pastors who came out and told the whole nation that there's nothing wrong with Muslim ticket. So in the structure of this administration, who is speaking for the Christians? I need to know who is speaking for the Christians. So the government enjoys the fact that they are spending taxpayers' money to employ lobbyists. They are spending taxpayers' money to pamper those who have been busy killing Nigerians. Because that's what you're doing. It's like giving them a pat at the back. When you refuse to punish people for a crime committed, you're opening the windows and the doors for criminality to hold sway.
Right, sir. So let's move straight before I open the phone lines to the conversations around President Tinubu's visits. You don't know everything will happen. £746 million deal to rehabilitate Apapa and all that ports. And Nigerians say, big deal, great deal. Oh, we get money. Then later we'll not hear that it was actually a loan after all. So it was a loan. So we thought it was more like a bilateral agreement where we could get 50-50 deal. Some economists like Carlo Ajadon come out and say, why Nigeria no sign an agreement to go make sure, say, these people are bringing this money to invest in the business in such a way that we share both the costs and the profit, or we share both the expense and the profit, or profit and, liability of the business. But it is a loan, £746 million. And then inside there, remember, so we get a deal for the importation of steel. In fact, this one will make UK's biggest steel importation. When we get our Jakarta, where would they spend billions of naira on top of year on year? They receive salary. One tiny steel like this, they never still produce. Is it that we're signing this deal because we have given up on our Jakarta steel? You know, they inside our budget of every year they inside budget with the budget money inside. So what's in Nigeria really get to benefit with all this deal? I don't want to talk about the repatriation of criminals and all that. So we said to talk about. Let's face this aspect first: economic benefits. What's in the economic benefits of President Tinubu visit? I mean, the person where they very aware in your industry about what's in they happen for importation and the ports. So from your angle, your understanding, what's in Nigeria get to benefit?
Honestly, I don't know. And I'll say it with all sense of responsibility. We're talking about 700 and something pounds, isn't it?
746 million pounds, please, sir. Don't forget
All
it.
right.
Thank you.
Let me tell you for the records that as we speak today, the Tinkan port has made 120.5 billion. 120.5 billion in the month of February 2026.
1 month.
Yes.
1 month.
Yes.
120.5 billion.
Yes. So if they have made 120.5 billion, this is precious. Tell me, what do we need a loan for? The whole of last year, custom generated 7.2 trillion. That is what they generated. 7.2 trillion. We're not talking about the one generated by the Nigerian Ports Authority. We're not talking about the one generated by the MASA. Because when we say custom generates, it means that custom is actually the backbone of the ports. So if custom generates 7.2 trillion in 2025, and in the month of February alone, 2026, we're talking about 120.5 billion only by Tinkan. We have not talked about the one generated by Apapa. We have not talked about the one generated by Lekki. We have not talked the one generated on our land borders.
So with what you're saying now, that means that, I mean, the 746 million pounds is just about 1.4 trillion naira, which is barely less than 30% of the amount where it say custom generates for 2025.
So why are we collecting the loan?
What are we borrowing money for?
Exactly.
If custom has the capacity to generate that amount of money,
So
And
what
we
are we
know,
fighting ground for?
I don't,
You see, each time we talk about Nigeria, and each time we talk about the leadership of Nigeria, I've always said to Nigerians, go and watch Trading Places by Eddie Murphy. When you watch that movie, put it side by side, Nigeria and our leadership. For those who don't know about the movie, it's a movie where two people had a bet. And the bet was that bring a pig out of the dirt, clean it, wear its suit and agbada. If he gets any opportunity, gets, what does it do? It goes back to the dirt. So our leaders have not been able to realize the fact that the national cake they are eating from is not the one given to you by Lord Lugard and his girlfriend and named Nigeria. The national cake we're eating from is the sweat of Nigerians. Every one of us. So until our leaders change that mindset and realize that, see, Precious, maybe our leaders, let me, this whole thing that is happening with your president's trip, the collection of loan, is making one too emotional. But there's something we all forget. None of us came to this world with anything. The day we were born naked. We were not born with silver spoon. We were not born with cars. We were not born with houses. We were not born with money. So also when we die, we go naked. And people are not thinking out of the box. People are not thinking and asking themselves questions. With all these things that I'm gathering, to what? So you also remember, you talked about Ajokuta steel. It's not today we started hearing about Ajokuta steel. We've been hearing about it. It's like the coal in Enugu. We've been hearing about coal. The way you're hearing about Ajakuta, that's the way you're hearing about coal in Enugu. And that's also how we'll be hearing about the NNPC, that stupid, hopeless government establishment. You remember last year, Senator Natasha said something about Ajakuta steel. And I remember vividly where she said one of the major issues she has had with the Senate is the revamping of Ajakuta steel. It is because of the fact that the government has refused to bring Ajakuta back on stream. That is why China is flooding Nigeria with all kinds of fake steel. And then by the time you will check the records, you'll find out that there must be a Nigerian who is benefiting from it. So because that person is benefiting, the whole nation should go and sink and fall down and drown. The same is happening with your electricity. So there's nothing that government has put their hand in that has worked. Your minister for power that is about to, whether he will resign to go and contest governorship,
we hear
is
that some of
telling
them,
you,
in my headline, say some of them go resign.
is telling you that don't worry, that we will increase power generation. As in, the man is talking like somebody who is deluded. And tomorrow, people in Oyo State, I think it's from Oyo State, people from
Yes.
Oyo State will blindly and stupidly elect him as their governor. A man who has failed as a minister.
You know, it's
You
because we
go
don't know how to manage electricity in Nigeria. You know, he mentioned that we're not sabi manage. You know, when you go abroad, you manage electricity. You come here,
in
you
the
don't manage.
manage.
Sir?
People are on band A. Band A. How many households on band A have 24 hours light now? I'm on band A. Was it last week Sunday? Didn't you see the way they were treating us?
What's in
Since
the
morning
door?
we've been on generator till about this evening. And then the man will open up his mouth filled with rubbish, waste that Loma has refused to clear.
Ew,
I'll be telling Nigerians to be patient.
ew.
The person who do the juju and hold Nigerians, I never know that person. We need to look for him. Honestly speaking, we need to look for him. Things are not getting any better. So the government has no business going to borrow money. If not for the corruption in the system.
Sorry, okay. If you don't like the business, that means we are not benefiting anything from that money. That is you can
What are
they
you
do us a
benefiting? At
favor.
the end of the pots
Sorry,
you
sir.
want to do, precious. You are
Sir?
talking about looking at the old pots. What is wrong with Ibon pot? Ibon deep sea pot? Why is it not on
Mm,
stream? After all, that man who calls himself a governor of Akwa Ibom State,
mm.
that albino,
No, now, sir, don't body shame him, please. Sir, we can't do that.
that
Please
man
don't do
that
that.
that man that decamped and told Nigerians, told everybody he was decamping because he wants to be in the center to have that place working. Why is he not working up till now? Why is he not working?
Maybe the
These
president is
so-called
working on it, sir.
these so-called leaders have taken us for granted for too long. Look at Abia State that is working. Ojus Okalo that was there for 8 years without any legacy. A man that has failed as a governor for 8 years. He has failed in the National Assembly for how many years? He's challenging a governor that is working. Shamelessly, he's all over the place, parading himself. That is what leadership has turned this country into. Your Senate president built hospital in Akwa Ibom State. That hospital, we're still asking, when will they commission it? Why is he not going to that hospital to take treatment? Why? That is where we expect him to go and receive treatment when he falls sick. And then everybody is keeping quiet. Nigerians have become so docile. When you speak out, they tell you you are a whaler. But the same person calling you a whaler will call you up tomorrow to beg you for money to buy fuel. The same person that is telling you, support the government, that the government is doing well, will call you tomorrow. In the open, they'll tell you the government is doing very well. In their closet, they'll tell you, Oga, suffering there for land. Are we not a cursed set of people? Are we not a cursed set of people? A country that produces crude oil. The crude oil was given to us by God free. He said, make una take better on our life. We have about almost 300 and something mineral occurrences in Nigeria, cutting across all the states. We're not even talking about that 300, we're talking about the 33 core minerals of international standard that this country can depend on without looking at oil.
Incidentally, our gold don't dey anywhere near our budget. When they drop budget, they never ever put say, okay, gold go be like this, so now like this it go be. They don't. The
Precious,
only
they are
time
mining your gold. They are mining your gold. They are mining your minerals. They are feeding fat on it. But for you and I, we must pay tax. These days, going to toilet, merely going to toilet, you pay tax. And that is the government we are.
All right, sir. I'll bring you to the Abia State conversation very shortly, but let me let Nigerians know that phone lines are open. Nigerians phone lines are open. Please kindly jump on the conversation. 0817-029-4077. That is the number to call. Or you click on the link on the pinned post. That's actually the better option. Click on the link on the pinned post and it will bring you straight into the studio to join the conversation. Or you call that number on WhatsApp alone, 0817-029-4077. So Prince Francis Chilaka, Pastor Paul Inenche say he go about Abia State. Say he no see anything where they like dirty for inside Abia. Say before you don't they see hip hop dirty, you know. And in shock, say he no see hip hop dirty. He dey praise Alex Kuti. This is not the response where Alex Kuti give.
This is your government. A government that has no godfather. A government that God brought himself. Therefore, we have no choice than to work for our people. Pastor Betty was demonstrating how clean Aba was. And I say she ain't seen nothing yet. Because we are just starting, right? So there's still a lot to do. Umuahia is also wearing a new look. Very soon we will commission the Umuahia Central Bus Terminal. By the way, I'm told it's the biggest bus terminal in the country.
All right, Prince Francis Chilakasa, before you respond, let me quickly speak to a caller. One thing when you talk, where you go make a repeat, say the reason in the work now because in the government when a God bring by himself, say they don't get any godfather. Good evening and welcome, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello, sir. You're welcome, great man. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Great man, why you not go to protest against our president for UK now? You follow for the protesters, you follow for the benefactors of 120 pounds.
You know, see what we do here now.
What do you do?
The only problem we are having in Nigeria is this country. You know, the only problem we are having in Nigeria is this country. We are living in this country and we know that this country are the people that is killing us in that country. So if this country does not remove their hand in Nigeria, Nigeria will not gonna be better.
So you feel say that UK government now you follow the donor.
You know what is happening? I live here getting to 30 years now. So if this country did not remove their hand from, and every government that comes in, come here to pay allegiance. Come here, you see that Japan house, they always go. They go to that Japan house in order for you to tell them what's going to be, in order for you to come and tell them what you're going to be doing for UK when you get to that power.
You feel so now wait to make you go Chatham House.
I tell you something they say at the show. Wait till we start the show. Now, how many UK prime ministers don't come on like Conde?
Not be we colonize them, that the other way around.
Conde stay in Abuja, Conde come to what they call it, on a House of Assembly, we don't become a house party now for what they call it. I mean, the major thing that I have been hearing all this, too many people are talking. People are talking. But I'm telling you, the truth is that all this too much talk, all this too much grammar cannot save the common man in Nigeria. It cannot do it. Because the political elite now, oh, come on, man. Their mind is still like what the Bible says that these people's heart is still like a hot iron. They don't even hear. They don't hear. They don't hear. They are thinking that the people in power now will bring this government in Nigeria.
So what's the solution? What solution are you proposing? What's the solution? What's the solution to you if you think people in power cannot help us?
I'm telling you, except the masses, that is the patriotic, good Nigerians. Because number one is that have it in mind that there are different diverse opinions. They initiated this division among you people there, making you to be, having this ups and downs. Now, some people will come into your studio, some people will be talking against the government, some people will come and they will be talking good about the government.
All right. Thank you, sir.
They put this enmity between you people there.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Common people will be fighting against yourself. And they are busy doing what they are doing, looting. I met Tinubu in this country many years ago when before he left as a what they call it, as a governor. I think he was a senator. Walking in the street, somebody told me, say that this man is from my country. I say it's lie.
Thank you. Thank you. Make we not talk too much. Sorry, so that others go calling. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so the only thing you people need to do is, if I will borrow a relief from Osho, what do they call it? What do they call this number?
Shawari.
If Nigeria will come out in mass, just like what they did to Nepal, what they call it. That's the only way it can be.
Okay, so you believe that it's only revolution that will solve a problem. All right. Thank you so much.
Every day on TV.
No wahala, sir. You don't talk your mind. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. God bless you too. Thank you so much. All right, Prince Francis Chilaka, you're going to say something, sir.
Before I go to Abia, I want to correct an impression that your
Caller.
yes, your caller just talked about Showore and revolution. Honestly speaking, I don't know what Showore wants.
Why?
I don't understand what he really wants.
What do you mean?
Is Showore in opposition, or is Showore part of the government?
He's in opposition by himself. He said he doesn't want to work with all of these people because
You see,
all of them
let me tell you the truth. See,
all of them don't rule at time.
You cannot be in opposition by yourself.
Sir, let me explain to you.
Let
Is
me
there
explain.
anybody in opposition today that hasn't?
Let me come. I'm the one that brought up the issue.
Okay, sir.
You are in opposition yourself. You are the chairman of your party. You are the presidential candidate of your party. I mean, what kind of leadership is that? If Showore feels that he wants to be on himself, he should stop dragging P2B back, forth, and center forward. P2B is not the one that is in power. P2B is also in opposition. And P2B has a right to associate with whoever he wants to associate with. So Showore should also focus himself on fighting the government and mobilizing people for us to take over power.
He's fighting government. He's doing exactly that. But he's not just joining the other politicians.
He should leave P2B out of his fight with government.
Oh, your problem is the P2B. Okay.
Yes, he should. If you come out and you're telling me, oh, P2B is not corrupt, P2B is a good man, and you think that P2B is a stupid man, P2B is not stupid. Anybody that wants to take power from Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot go it alone.
Not just a Tinubu anyway.
No, I mean, yeah, because we know if it comes, I tell people, if it comes to strategy in terms of politics, I give it to Tinubu. But if it comes in terms of governance, I give him 0. So Sowore should focus on his own side. You don't need to drag some other person into every minute of the day,
All
every
right.
second of the day. No,
Can I
for me, that
can
is
I quickly
childish.
take a call, sir? Well, we'll come back to this conversation, sir. Thank you, sir. Hello, good evening, and welcome, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, Vincent, I'm calling from Colorado.
You're welcome.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank your guest. I think, is that Prince Shilaka?
Yes, Prince
He's
Francis
very-
Chilaka.
Yeah, he's honest, and you can see the passion in his voice. Nigeria is a disaster.
Ew.
So that's number one.
Mm.
And then number two, I'm just going to focus on the security issue that you started the show on.
Yeah.
Last month, I was in Nigeria for over 5 weeks. I suffered a personal tragedy because I came home to bury my mom.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My condolences.
Yeah, thank you. And I know what I saw. Precious, I had to pay for security to go to the southeast, not even the northwest or the northeast, the southeast, to bury my mother. It was a very dire situation.
Mhm.
So when people talk of security, the insecurity problem, it's also prevalent in
Yeah.
Igbo land.
Yes, of
Yes.
course. Yes.
My father's country home had been so vandalized, I shed tears when I saw it.
Sure.
That's how bad the situation was. And now you talk of security agents, police officers, soldiers. Let me just give you an example. I'm a law enforcement officer over here.
Okay.
I work as a cop.
Okay.
Now, if I die, God forbid, on duty, my agency pays me 6 figures to my next of kin. Then the state I am in, the state of Colorado, pays my family $1 million if I get killed on duty. There is no Nigerian member of security forces that has that benefit.
Lie.
Yeah.
If they get out, they no go to collect money for road.
That is the point. Nobody thinks of that working over here. Your family has been taken care of. And there's so much, I just want to summarize it, that the prince is hitting everything the right way. Tinubu is a colossal failure.
Hey.
Colossal failure. And I don't know what else to say. All we can say is, people say, what's the hope? When I talk to my friends over here, they're like, why doesn't your president ask for help from the United Nations or from the AU to get soldiers, to get forces over here to help with insecurity? The fact is, Chilaka is right. They don't want to solve the problem.
We've not even agreed that we have a problem. Maybe it's when you agree you have a problem that you can get help. Are you not seeing that we're blaming climate change and Sahel nations as the cause of terrorism?
That's all hubris. That is the hubris that they've monetized and weaponized poverty. A Nigerian would take, like you said, will take 5,000 naira, 2,500 just to vote because he has given up on the government. He's given up. So it's that vicious cycle that keeps on going on and on. Only God can help us. Maybe a Peter Obi, maybe the guy in Abia State, maybe a Natasha, if they get into positions of power. I mean, I don't know. You just have to
Unfortunately, God will not come down to help you. So it's very unfortunate, but that's okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. God, did they come down help anybody for Nigeria? Well, go ahead with your thoughts, sir. So you wanted to say something?
So now I'm done. After what I've said that Sowore should please come together with if he has a better option for P2B, put it on the table. Don't keep disparaging the man because you feel that you're in a position. You're in a position against the government, not a position against a Peter Obi. Now going to Abia, God's own country, man. You know, Abia used to be part of Imo State before they wickedly cut it off. You know, and like I keep saying, the spirit of late Simon Bakwe is resting on Alex Oti. God bless that man. I'm telling you, God bless him for what he's doing for his people. I wish I could say the same thing for other governors. I wish I could. I wish I could, speak of my own governor like this. So when you hear the likes of Ojus Okalu, Chioda Oji, Ipasu talking, you just know that those ones are just ranting for the sake of ranting. Like I said, Ojus Okalu, coming back to the Senate, the thing that happened to Richards will happen to him. You should go and write it down.
Okay, so I have
And
a clear.
maybe these days I'm even surprised that since the issue of forgery was put on your deputy speaker, he has gone quiet.
He's talking, but small.
He's gone quiet. He's no longer talking. He's no longer threatening on Alex Oti up and down. He's no longer telling us how he's number 6.
It's not just Okano that is doing the threats now, sir.
No, that's what I said. Before he will tell you, he will open his eye and tell you, I am number 6. Now, when he wants to say it's number 6, number 6. That's that. Oh my God, shit. Nigeria, a country with men of honor and proven integrity being run by semi-illiterates and criminals. What a situation? What a situation?
Hey, Chim. So a few things I want to talk to you about. When you mentioned the Shawaris issue, there's something Isaac Fayoshe said that Shawari is deliberately jealous of Peter Obi because I think he said something like maybe he'd expect, say, the number of people. No. Okay, let me leave that conversation. But let's
Not
just
leave
go
him.
straight.
Not leave him. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that Showore is hoping that he will be the one having the kind of organic love that Peter Obi has.
Okay.
But we're all different. We
Okay,
have
sir.
different blessings following us.
So let's go to.
He should accept his own grace and be happy with it and forget the grace of another man.
All right, sir. So going back to the UK deal or the deal where UK gets with our country, we here say for looking through into the 2026 budget, 2025 budget itself, maybe 2026, about 1 billion naira was budgeted for 1 billion, about 1 billion for Lagos ports in 2025. So while we budget that amount of money, almost $1 billion thereabouts, and naira, and then we're still borrowing money from UK over our ports.
Well, we have told the government
consistently.
We have told the government consistently, you're spending so much energy, resources, and focus on the ports in Lagos and leaving the ones outside of Lagos. The government should focus on an airport, focus on Ibom Deep Sea Port. There are other ports scattered all over the southeast, even in the north. But no, everything is Lagos. Everything is Lagos. And we forget, when we moved our capital from Lagos to Abuja, why did we move it? What was the excuse? We said it was open to attack. So let us take it to where we will become like Iran, that cannot penetrate. But then, we are focusing so much on Lagos. We need to diversify the economy, diversify development, so that Nigerians all over the country can feel the sense of belonging. You talk of railway, the first one here is Lagos, Maiduguri, the one that will run into Niger Republic that your late president did, using Amechi as a tool to do that. You talk of what else? Imo State has international cargo airport. Is it functional? Enugu has an international airport. Yet people come to Lagos to come and fly. The governors in the southeast, they're not thinking out of the box. Network the southeast with train. All of them are just there, looking as if it's none of their business. So it's a terrible situation.
All right. So, Prince Francis Chilaka, before I bring somebody else into the studio, I mean, I would be very sad if I don't mention this today. So, there was a festival today, waiting, and they call RIP Festival for Zoro in Delta State today. And according to them, the tradition say during this festival, women need to come outside. And if you be woman, you come outside, you'll be gang raped or whatever it is that the tradition is. I'm raising this so that anybody who's from Delta State to please come up and share with us what that tradition is. So if you're from Ozoro, Delta State, please come up and share. But this one not raised a lot of controversy because a lot of young men were seen pouncing on different women. We be say perhaps no, they are aware, and then they came out. Remember that that place houses a university too. So they don't pounce on different women, molesting and harassing young girls in broad daylight, public. The police for inside the place don't condemn them, don't talk, say they don't arrest the organizers of the festival and all that. Some of this tradition and cultures, how far is just too much that we cannot amend? I mean, the tradition and the cultures should be a human being that make up. Now, great grandfathers sit down, make up, not be say, now God, now send the tradition for us. So it never reached time we'll go begin amend some of these customs and traditions. If truly in a tradition, we'll go see the practice of this 21st century. I'm sorry if I'm delving into this, but it's really an eyesore.
No, Precious, I'm surprised. I'm just hearing for the first time that there's a rap festival. Unfortunately, when some men who are broke
Great festival,
become,
that's what they call it.
when some men who are broke become honey, they devise something to be able to satisfy their urge. For me, it's a shameful thing. It's not even something we should talk about in public. That there is a festival for you to rape women. It's madness. Those involved, every one of them should be arrested and jailed and the key thrown away. Honestly speaking, it's like saying you have a festival for domestic abuse of wives. I mean, what are we talking about? 21st century. 21st century. You're talking about rape. You're talking about it as if it's something you should venerate, something that you should be happy about. Who does that? Who in his mind, common sense, would do that? We should be in Nigeria with it. We've seen that the Oro that was mystified before has become an open thing. Before, when you talk of Oro, they say women don't see it, women don't come out. But they forget that during the election, the Oro came out in the afternoon. So it has been demystified. So for this one you're calling rape festival, Precious, I beg, I never hear them before. I just hear them. Those who organized it, those who participated,
they say they don't arrest the organizers.
They should arrest every one of them and give them maximum punishment. When they take them to court and they sentence them, they should send them to Borno State Prison.
Must they be where Mazin Namdekano is?
No, Borno
State, not be Sokoto State. Okay,
yeah, send them to Borno.
All right, let me bring in MC to the building. MC, good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Precious.
Yes, you're welcome. Go ahead. Please.
Yeah. Good evening, Priscilla.
Mm.
You look take away this evening, Precious.
Prince, oh, stop it! I like it. Thank you. Thank you so
You
much.
look different today. That's nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
If I say Tinubu, they push you, maybe become me, they shine
Don't
every
make
day.
me vex, so I don't get like so. I don't get like so. Don't make me vex, so.
She was part of the entourage to London, right?
Remember that don't make me vex, so. You see
joined them now.
You pounce on your me. I've been at your mind yesterday. You know, come again today. Man, no pounce on you. Are you not seeing? I'm seeing you.
Sorry, that Tinubu cough.
I never use my full light. I don't get light. Don't make me vex, so. Go ahead.
It's all right. You know, Precious here. You see, the situation of Nigeria now. Let's go back to, is it Silarun or Liberia or whatever during the kidnaps of those children. After they kidnap them, they will not turn them into child soldiers and all that. That is what that is what Nigeria is going through now. Nigeria is experiencing that in a mass scale. Those people they've kidnapped, they will torture them, train them, turn them, whatever they want to do to them, drug them or useless those children, turn them into killing machines.
So MC, I'm sorry, but there is a part of this we're not even looking at. There is a part,
Mhm.
there's a factor that is highly enabling this child labor, or child fighters that we're not even
Mhm.
looking at. Poverty, hardship,
Very
where
good.
present administration don't place
Yeah,
us.
I'm
Because
coming
a
there
lot
now.
of them, once they see the big life, we be see this. I see a video of a bandit, terrorist carrying AK-47, enter inside the shop. They roam around town, no, they know them in town, no. He got into a
Sure,
shop, follow young
sure.
boys, and they admire him phone where he hold for hand because he could buy it with ransom money. So it's a big challenge. When people cannot eat, parents can now willingly send their children, go and join them now, so that you'll be making money. So
Precious,
it's
no,
a
no,
big
no, no, no,
problem.
Precious, hold on, hold on. It is not that they were following them and admiring. The problem is that there is no punishment for crime.
Because there's no
Simple.
deterrence. Because
And
there's no
again,
deterrence.
and
Go ahead.
again, and
Mm.
again, there is no protection from the parents because the parents are the front lines who were supposed to guide these children because the children live with the parents in the house. They are supposed to discipline them, point them in the right direction. So when the parents could not do that, so it's there's a saying, say you as a parents, you go pursue your picking, go give outsider, make outsider help you kill her, or make outsider help you use and do rubbish. So that is what is going on now because there are no proper care, there are no guidelines, there are no guidance, no safeguarding for these children. These children wake up in the morning, they are on the streets. No control, no direction, nobody to tell them this is the right thing to do, this is what you're to do, this is what you're not to do. So that's for that. So then these people have access to them, do whatever they want to do with those children, no question asked. So that's for that. So the parents has failed on that area. Then the government as well, who was supposed to now step in, protect these children, they have failed as well. How? First of all, the government is the one exploiting or selling out poverty to these children. So because no job, no education, because look at the education aspect they were even talking about now. The government has totally destroyed that education system. You understand? They totally destroyed that education system. So that has been taken away from those children as well. So if you look at the government, that's why I said there is no government in that country. That country is just on autopilot. Okay, now when you look at the London trip or whatever now, look at people you know as thugs. In other words, they call them in other words, they call them agberus,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
thugs.
No, Akbar is not like a legal thing in Nigeria. Again, I hope you know that. It's not like it's
Okay,
normal.
very good. They you see these people now, they are not the people taking pictures with the people that came to in the UK, as in all they are not the people escorting the president, taking pictures with them. So you could see that the government is a government of criminality. So these people have been so empowered. Have been so you could see the way they. That is why I use that parable. I said, when the good people in the community keep quiet, criminals become generous. So now it's not time. Now the good people step out and start speaking, so that they can take the power back and put sanity and sanitize the society and chase these criminals out. Huh? So everything is not obvious. It's not clear where the direction the country is going. Because the way the country is going now, the country will explode. It will. It will explode because these people are not supposed to. It's not supposed to. It's not supposed to be there. The question now is how did we get here? How did we allow this kind of a thing to happen?
Grab it,
All
snap it,
because
and
of
run. That is how we got there.
That's it. All because this thing happened because of greed of some few people. greed of just some few individuals. And again, the guy you guys are calling is a master strategy. That guy is no master strategy.
Eh,
It's not any, it's no master strategy. No,
eh.
it's
He's
no.
what?
It's just propaganda. Propaganda. They're just propagating it. It is no master strategy. He didn't win an election. He didn't win the 2023 election. He did not. That mandate was just stolen, was just taken from the rightful owner and given to him. It's not a master strategy. Even till today, he's still fighting for recognition, for recognitions. Nobody wants to associate with him.
I don't say that. That's our presidency.
Nobody. Precious
That's
is not president. You people that title doesn't even belongs to him. That's just the truth. Because this guy, he didn't win the election. They know what they did. That they make that they stole the money that wasn't belongs to them. And the people kept quiet. The people, because the people are so docile. They kept quiet. If that thing happened in some other neighboring Africa, do you think that country would have been upside down as soon as they announced that result that day? So it's not a master strategy. You people should stop calling it that, because when you say someone is a master strategy, you know that this person don't things the right way. He won. Everybody recognized him and all that. Till today, that guy is still fighting for recognition. He's still paying. He's paying for He's paying for people to recognize him. He's even begging people to even, and nobody wants to work. You could see the way he's using. What are the tactics? What are the tactics are they using to bring all these people into their fold? It's either if the threatening did not work, bribe. If they didn't accept bribe, they threaten. So that is it. That is all. Nothing more. Togri. Just see. Is that what you call a master strategy? A criminal? Okay. Now look at as for the Showore aspect. Now we all know that one because ask Showore now. What plans do you have for Nigeria? What is your plan? Rather than you talking down on Peter Obi every time. What plans have you got? What is your plan? How do you plan to move Nigeria forward? The guy cannot explain to you. Rather than revolution,
no, but
revolution,
if you talk to
revolution,
him, he will tell you.
revolution.
But first of all, he believes say most of the people then where they in power now must leave for Nigeria to better. Because now they put Nigeria
But
where it is today.
okay.
What is
Is it not part of the people that brought these people into power?
how? How did he bring them into power?
Is it not part?
How?
Is it not part? Oh, you forgot about 2015?
What wrote
Is it not part of the person that was insulting Jonathan?
interestingly, I mean the first, second, or third time or so I interviewed Traore, we had this conversation. And he said
Is it not part of the
he said he
people?
never supported Buhari he didn't campaign for Buhari rather. Even though he criticized Jonathan, he didn't campaign for Buhari. Although there are footages of him jubilating or alongside people who were jubilating when Buhari win. But he said he no campaign for. So I have to speak from my one-on-one conversation with him. He said he never campaigned for Buhari. So that means he didn't bring them into.
Precious.
However, he was
He
criticizing Jonathan because Jonathan was a failure.
is part and parcel of the people that brought these people into power. They use the share. He was among the people that was even spreading the fake news all around as well and everything, going around and everything, doing all sorts of rubbish, saying all sorts of rubbish about Jonathan government and all that as well. He was part of the people. He should do everything. Is all his handwork is all all over social medias. He was part of the people. So because that's why I said these people, it's not the person you want to take his word for anything. You don't need to even take his word for anything, if when he speaks. Okay, now again, look at the other woman we were talking about the other day, about the woman with this Umayi saga and everything.
That one not my
But you
conversation.
see,
Just hold on first, because you know that my conversation. I deliberately no one joining that drama. Make I take this call. I go bring you back to room. Good evening and welcome. welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
I just want to say something about the people that are talking about our leaders, in Nigeria.
Okay.
The only thing I saw in them is that they are evil. After watching this trip, they went to London 2 days ago. I see that they are evil. Like, we saw them at the airport, line up, shaking this man, waving, and you saw them immediately again in London, welcoming the same man. And when you look at their faces, and just remember, 2 days before that program, there was a bomb blast in Nigeria. People died. It was all over the news, everywhere. Yes. It's not a new thing.
And none of them even acknowledged those deaths. Then, so one of the things that hurt me is that those people's deaths were not even acknowledged while they traveled.
I just want to tell you my observation.
Okay.
When you look at their faces, they were like if you watch the movie Baby's Day Out, they were like, they are happy to come out. They are happy to be in that place. As if they have money. They are exposed a little bit from the position they are holding. But they look like a baby thrown out at the fall fest to go and play. You can see it on their face. Even Tinubu and his wife, when they are hopping inside into those Rolls Royce, the way the wife was smiling, the way they were happy, even those promoters, those people that are welcoming them. I saw one room when she was coming with Tinubu, and you saw those people, they were chanting his name, or they were talking something with Yoruba, praising them. They were happy as if they came to see Santa Claus. They are going to see Father Christmas, want to give them something. But these people are people that have baggages and luggages at home, which is dirty. And people die, they just step out, go and enjoy cruise. And we all saw the results. Like I said, we check up at the remit of cost authority in Nigeria. We saw how much they are making. So why are they borrowing this money? So this is what I saw on that UK trip.
All right.
Let me come about this child soldier. When you another thing I observed, when those criminals should pay those children, you saw some of those children are rushing, are happy. That means they are innocent. They don't even know what they are going to do.
Sure.
You saw some.
There is no child soldier that will be aware and can be held responsible for being aware of what they're going into.
There's one. The future is still in my mind. One black one. Go back and watch the video. We see one that is like, you see a pure child. He just put his head down. He wasn't even moving like what that we are happy, jubilation coming up. Then I told my friend, we are going to be expecting bombing in Nigeria, suicide bombing, and this will happen. And people are going to see them more because this is what they are going to use to shoot them for. Then the people should be careful. Then when you talk about poverty, remember that those children, some of them are kidnapped from their family. Some of those children have been kidnapped from those areas.
Yes.
Now, some of them are not their imaginary. People are thinking they are. Some of them may be coming from another family, not a Muslim family or maybe Christian family or whatever. So those children are maybe innocent for what they are bring them to do. Maybe their parents are dead, like that little boy that they left that time to go and start for money to go and take up her sister. You see, had they been brought that kind of child into that place, nobody will see that child as a little boy or an innocent Nigerian child. You will see that with Amaziri or terrorists. That's what you will see. So those people, some of them are innocent, but our government is they are wicked people. So when people want to talk about poverty in Nigeria, what we see in Nigeria now is the route to Islamic states. They will always bring people down. They always bring people with poverty. So they will not implement their true Islamic. That's what they are doing. And Tinubu and his gang, they know about this thing. That's why they don't bother. And I believe there's something these guys know about Nigeria that citizens doesn't know about. You see, they feel free. They are not shaking. They are not concerned. You play the video now from the white man all the way from America, telling us about our intelligence, something that is going to happen. You will see pressure. That thing will happen. They will not move an inch to do it. That's what I see. Nigerians should pray for themselves. And anywhere they can defend themselves, they can defend themselves. But hoping on government to defend them or save them or do something change.
Thank you.
Nigeria.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. MC, you were saying something. Let me bring back.
Yeah. What I was trying to, what the other, what I was trying to say. I say you saw
see me now.
Yeah,
You won't make me make mistake now. Say Omahi and him babe. Stop it. I don't like it. You make me make silly mistakes.
they babe now.
No, it's not.
No, but sorry, you know, incidentally, I'm sure you've heard the fact that the woman has put up a new video, and
She's been putting up
we also hear now
She's even crying.
that the
She's
lawyer,
crying. She's begging for.
we hear that the lawyer that is handling her case is Showore's lawyer.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So,
I think I'm happy you saw what we're talking
and
about.
Showore has not seen
You
the
saw
need
what
to call his guy to order and say what is going on, and you want to be a leader, well, you are busy criticizing people all over the place.
Okay. So that was the area I was not driving. That was where I was driving to.
Now, why? What did he do?
That is where I was. That is where I brought.
Precious, if you do something wrong as my friend and I don't correct you, then I'm not your friend. That's the truth.
Priscilla,
how about the lawyer is innocent?
Who's innocent?
Priscilla,
sorry, bros. Have you read the statement of the lawyer?
Thank you. That was the reason. That was where I was driving to. That was why I brought this issue to everything to tell you the set of human beings we are dealing with. The set of human beings that we are dealing with. You saw the woman. First of all, the woman messed up big time. You see the betrayal. He thought he betrayed the people that stood by you. The betrayer now is coming to haunt you. You can see now, Shishi, Kobo, not the way you see.
No, she said $70,000. She said she won't return them. But she has a chance to return it. $70,000 is a lot of money. It's over 100 million naira. So why she not go take them? I mean, make we even go by the least exchange rate. Better money she don't collect like that. But again, where the woman was also not sincere that she did not state is that money was not 305 million naira after all. She lied. That money was beyond that amount of money. I think it's about 20-something thousand, 20-something million thereabout. But she they calculate and say the value of that money now might be that 305 million.
Yeah, but she has the right to do that.
I'm not saying she doesn't have the right, but what I'm trying to say is that if you have been giving 100 million, which is worth more than the value of your money, which is what more than 2 times of the amount in question, why not take it and walk away? Why
Precious, if you go to a bank to collect Precious, if you go to a bank to collect a loan, and the bank tells you that the loan and interest is 100 million, and you give the bank 75 million from what you collected 20 million, would the bank would they write off your loan?
Well, that money is about 94 million naira, or not up to 100 million. But
okay. You checked it and it's not up to 100 million. Okay, very good.
By the current very good. Rate, it's less than 1/4.
So very good. So that's why I tell you, when you see this Showore case, when you see the Showore and the gang of lawyers where they carry forward, they'll be like businessmen, people where they look for.
Hey.
Let me talk now. I speak the truth. No.
That's not a fair thing to say to a presidential candidate, sir.
No, forget about it. Forget about it. These are all businessmen. You know, they look for, person where meet business. Let's be honest, people where meet business. You know, go. They look for trouble every day. They look for where trouble one day. Where you want go court, I saw to court.
But we
are asking for 20 billion. They're asking for 10 billion.
If not for the involvement in Showore in this case, that woman has been purely cheated and nothing for come out and nothing you go fit do, because you have leaders who are oppressors who use the power you give to them to oppress people.
Okay. No. Don't quote me. No.
Of the leaders and what would they follow? What we don't see when they see people where they oppress when they come out.
No, precious.
Don't quote a lot of people.
Don't quote me wrong. I know they support the other criminal. I'm not supporting anybody.
So there are different criminals here we're talking about.
Yeah. I know. They're all criminals. Even the person follow buy something. This one way sell for somebody. The one way buy from the person. They're all criminals. None of them free. Eh? None of them free because even the other same the way you call your boyfriend just now. That one not supposed to hold any position for that country.
He's
If not
supposed to not
somewhere, if
resign.
he's
He's
supposed
supposed
to
to not
resign.
resign.
Thank you. Even though he not resign, say the president go sack him. When
Which
those
president?
allegations just come up.
President not promise all of them. President not promise all of them presidency after himself.
He's supposed to sack him. But they not do because they are criminals.
Why go sack him now? He's part of the city boy now. The city boy, they don't sack them.
That is what we're saying. That's what we're saying because we just need to put out the truth. Because when you see this London trip again now, when you see this London trip, it's embarrassment. They went there, they embarrassed Nigeria, they rubbish Nigerians. They tell the Nigerians where they suffer for home, where they don't push it to poverty. Say, you know if you do anything, we go chop the resources of the money the way we like. We are not going to do anything. Then the people, the things they happen for where the things they happen there, then all of the pack body, they come London. So we need to start asking questions. Because the people now need to wake up and start demanding for what belongs to them. Because I will continue saying it. Because when the people don't begin to speak up, just like they don't begin to ask questions, they don't begin to talk, then you will see these people. They go look for where they go run. They go look for where go hide themselves. Hide themselves put. Huh? Yeah, this embarrassment not too much.
Is enough. Is enough. We've heard your plea. Let's. Why, if I want to talk to you, I go to choke. You do.
Yeah, because you know I'm saying the right thing. Eh? You know say we they speak the truth here.
You go Edo State, visit your village for me. Why? What's going on? Prince Francis Chilaka, let me take your thoughts so that we'll end the show. I beg you people cannot kill me.
Nobody
Now,
wants
let
you.
me take you back to my darling state. Oh, yeah.
And again, a quick one. Abia State, and Lesotho is a case study. Is a state every other governors should emulate.
Which governor? Have you not heard that a pastor came out and said that God has shown him in the realm of the spirit? Make a play the audio. I'm not going to do the video now. Say, make a play. Make on hear him. You are here.
You are here. You are planning to work against this party. There will be the type of judgment you will receive, divine judgment. It is better you never joined us at all. So if you are in APC, be APC 100%. Because we are hungry to experience what God has put in us. We are not bad people. We are not people in Egypt. They said that Anaga at Egypt. But they are in Babylon now. They are in Babylon. So they didn't live anywhere. So what we are decreeing and declaring is that APC will win assembly in the name of Jesus.
You say APC will win in the name of Jesus. So you see, this is the
I don't know why you and these pastors, all these pastors where they predict fake.
The spirit is not things of the flesh.
Which spirit? He
Priscilla, I go tell you what is somebody when I know they talk. When you just measure this pastor of a pastor reach a day, he go say pastor where they cause confusion for where they scatter people ass, where they cause confusion for people homes. Now you know why you see a year anything say pastor, thought say pastor.
Are you talking about ordained men of God like that?
Who ordained them? Who called them?
God.
When did God call them? Precious, please, I beg. I won't go sleep. No, you don't spoil. You won't spoil my mind. You won't spoil my mind.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Then they go sit down somewhere. Then they go sit down somewhere. Then they drive limousine. They drive good cars. Meanwhile, their church members, they trek up and down, hunger, they kill them.
God will
There are
create
many
us.
industries this church is not set up.
Yeah, but God will create us. He not talk so. Even Jesus Christ, you see, when Jesus Christ was on earth, what he did, he sacrificed for the people. He makes sure say the people they okay. But how
Who
many of the
was sacrifice for you? May they wait for sacrifice. You go become Odeshi. May they wait for sacrifice.
No, we try to tell them now. We try to tell them since they make mention of the pastors, but with the talk, I know they judge you. I know they judge any pastor, but the way God say make the tail live, make the tail serve the people, but they are not doing it. Huh? So what they try to talk about and say Abia State is a case study on how every other governors should emulate. Like first of all, like all these sponsors, what they say now one person now sponsor this one enter seat of power. That's why we say if the country they really function, because that country need a proper constitution to criminalize those people where they do those kind of things. Because you see where we dey now. Now members of the party now they donate. Now go donate, now they donate. You get some fees where you they pay, where you feel they say you they pay to the party where you belong every month, or you want they pay, or they get large donations for some of the rich or in society just to fund the party, campaign for the party, to push who they want push, where you want become the leader of the country. That is how it's done. Not be the Nigeria where one person go just sit down. The resources who they steal from the country, the people resources, they will constantly take that resources, they'll use a country sponsor person, enter power. Then they from there they control the resources into their own pockets. Then you push the people into poverty.
Thank you, MC. Thank you.
It's
Thank you
not
so much.
done.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. The Barrys, I thought I saw you. Let me have you, because you came late for church. We're about doing valediction. Pope Francis. Francis Chilaka is about giving us the grace. So make I quickly take your thoughts.
Precious and Prince.
Sir?
Good afternoon. Yes, so I was listening from the other side. So I said, let me just jump in because the whole thing is so touching. I see you yesterday. You were so hard. Say, hi, I beg now. Let my sister get with this. So for media, make your blood pressure not shoot high. You the way you are responding to that. I send a message for some reason. I saw you. Now there I can't see River State inside you. I go send you go Rivers. Then you go confirm Wiki. Now you will need.
I beg, the Barrys.
No, you not go back. So here is my expectation on this whole thing. It be like something somewhere is wrong with Nigerians. So I was expecting that as this man Arnold from Texas is doing this, that some of our elite pastors would come up, galvanize, organize, and then all of us as churchgoers, as Christians, will follow through to make sure that the world can listen and follow through with this soul killing. Precious, you don't understand how I feel for those people. Like that young man, where come from Borno State, Southern Borno, where you bring on this platform. Precious, I have been in a refugee camp and I understand where the man is coming from. I wanted to call in, but I said, let me just listen and follow. I know if I explain to you what goes on there, and I was asking for some how to send those messages out. I think Amnesty International, Lutheran Social Services, and the UNHCR, United Nations High Commission for Refugees. Those are the three platforms that are very strong in helping refugees. Because as I speak to you, I was in it is the largest place for African refugees in Benin Republic, in the town called Kumase. That's where the whole African refugees are, right there. I live there myself. So that's that. Then how do we reach out to these mega pastors with this whole thing? Even if those of them that have branches in the US can call them, we just galvanize, and whenever there's this call, this congressional hearing, we just go there And even if we stand outside and hold placards, that's why I stopped going to church. I told you, but based on this, I am going to call the pastor of Redeem right here that I attend. I'm going to tell him to reach out to their overseer. Say, hey, this thing is coming up. Let them mobilize all their franchises in the US. They have this thing. The Redeem now is like a grocery store. Everywhere you turn around, Nigerian redeem this, redeem that. Everywhere. Why are they so quiet? I promise you, and I'm going to give you the response. When I call back, I will reach out. I am going to church on Sunday for this reason alone. I'm going, and I'm going to tell him, and I will tell you what his response to me. That's my job. I'm going to do that. I just said, let me call in. I'm still at work. Thank you so much, and I'm listening. I will go back to the YouTube to listen to the rest of the ones that I've missed. Prince.
Right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Your voice and your ideas and your knowledge. You've never shifted. I pray. May the Lord target you because you are so straightforward, my brother. I love you, man. I love your commentaries. Thank you so much, Prince.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
MC, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
No
Good night. And
no
God bless
problem,
you.
Precious. Thank you very much.
Prince Francis Chilaka, or make you do grace for us, make we the close church.
Well, my grace is simple. We can't sit back in the country and allow outsiders to give us information about our own country. We can't sit down in a country where those we call our brethren, Christians, are being murdered and slaughtered. Yet, the Christians back home, those who lead the churches, those who mount the pulpit, are keeping quiet. When outsiders are fighting for you, you also fight for yourself, to liberate yourself. And I'm calling out on all Nigerian pastors. It's not just about healing. It's not just about tithe. It's not just about offering. It's about care and love for one another. That is Christ. And that is what Christ stood for. Christ sacrificed himself so that every one of us can have a life. How many of you, Nigerian pastors, are ready to make such sacrifice? Thank you.
Now Jesus don't do that one pass, so nobody go fit do it in Jesus do again. Can't kill themselves for us.
Then they should stop wearing the toga of pastor.
Hey, no. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. It's always a pleasure to have you. And
No problem.
hear your great insights on things that happen for Nigeria. Good night and God bless you. Thank
Good
you,
night.
sir. Thank you, sir. All right, Nigerians, that's the size of our package. I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who's part of the show. You know, it's always a pleasure to be with you guys and to discuss Nigerian matter with you guys. So I'll see you again tomorrow, God willing. At the meantime, protect your mental health because he who worries about Nigeria and runs away lives to worry another day. I love you. You know that, right? You know I love you. Good night and God bless you. Thank you so much. Bye.